Mark Rydell is the director of The River. And Mr. Rydell, I wanted to ask you about the lyrical, beautiful quality that persists even when the film is at its grittiest. Even in the factories, there's a marvelous look to the picture. Working with Vilmos Zsigmond, of course, you've done before. He must be your first choice by now?
He's a wonderful, wonderful character, really a visual artist. We made 3 pictures together as actor, as director and cameraman, and I also made a picture with him when I starred in a picture for Robert Altman, in which he was the cameraman, a picture called The Long Goodbye, when I was an actor.
Oh, yeah.
But he's, you know, he's one of those great, internationally known and sensitive cameraman. His ability to compose and to light is
And you hear how tough it is to shoot rain. Is that a myth, or is that really an extra problem?
You know, you only see on film what you light. In order to see rain, you have to light it. You have to cross-light it and backlight it so that it reflects. Otherwise, you won't see it. You can have rain, if it's front-lit, you won't see it. It has to be lit from behind. It's very difficult. It makes a problem.
Watching the rain begin to fall and then slowly swell to a flood during the title sequence, that's one of the most remarkable title sequences I've seen in a while. Where does all that come from? Who's...
That's, I mean, here, you have to have it was an idea early on that we create something quite lyrical and beautiful and slightly mysterious in the opening, and that a rainstorm begins, and what is benign to you and I becomes horrendous to a farmer. 8 days of rain, and rivers overflow, and floods occur, and crops are ruined, and so to change the benign, exquisite rain into something horrendous was a challenge.
At the same time, you are not working with miniatures in the flood sequences.
No, it's all real.
Was there ever any tendency, initially at least, to go with the special effects instead?
Well, I'm not a special effect director. I like the real thing. I mean, and I don't make pictures about outer space where I have no choice. So I make pictures about human beings, and I was dedicated from the very beginning to creating the real thing, and we did. We got the Tennessee Valley Authority to help us to raise the level of a river some 5 feet when we wanted it, and we built a levee and a hydraulic door in that levee which held back, you know, once we lowered the hydraulic door inside the levee, the force of the river, 86,000 gallons of water per minute came through that.
You hear all these stories about Cecil B. DeMille ordering the elements to queue up for the shot, you know, all the jokes and things. You must have felt that occasionally. Bring on the flood.
Bring on the flood. Well, it was nerve-wracking. It was a tough experience, quite dangerous, as a matter of fact, and we had a lot of safety devices built in case there was any problem, because that water, as it pours in, to the trapped Mel Gibson under a dozer, and Sissy Spacek, and you know, they were all struggling very hard in the real thing, and that kind of reality works in a film.
Let's get back to the look of this picture a little bit now, and the sound of it maybe too, because John Williams, a composer who's noted for an opulent musical sound, seems pared down here, for the best, I think.
He's restrained in this picture. I told John when we started work that I was going to take away his orchestra. He was kind of shocked. I said, look, I want you to surprise us with the score of this film. I think that I don't want to see any of the miraculous, wonderful stuff that he's done for Steven Spielberg and George Lucas, and you know, he's done some pictures for me before. He did The Reavers and The Cowboys and Cinderella Liberty.
In fact, The Cowboys is a picture that I was struck by a little bit watching this in terms of that sound.
Yeah, he was very restrained in this picture, and very sensitive and very suggestive and very mysterious, and I think he considers it a big achievement for himself.
Are you a movie buff yourself?
I don't know. I'm sure love movies.
Well, I'm going to try this. I was wondering if you are familiar with King Vidor's film, Our Daily Bread, in which it is the farmers bringing water to the land.
Oh yes,
that's the problem.
Yes. Exactly. I did see it as a preparation for this film, and there's a wonderful scene where the water starts to move through the furrows at the end, and yes, exactly. I did see it.
I mentioned that because as a director, you must have a marvelous sense at times of building up emotional sequences strictly through editing, strictly through placement of camera and the rhythm of the shots and all of that.
Well, I'm glad you see it. You know, very few people would notice such a thing. You have to very carefully plan how to develop a sequence so that it reaches, it has dynamics and reaches a climax. And that's, as you say, by careful editing.
Finally, why is Hollywood, the film industry generally, turning now to the soil, the land, the farmers? Why is that becoming a theme now, and a welcome one it is indeed to be seeing on our screens?
Well, I think that we should be grateful, I guess, that serious artists whose job it is to reflect the turmoil of a nation, their attention is being drawn to a real problem. I guess the problem genuinely exists, or you wouldn't find people paying attention to it.
Because in the Midwest, those viewers watching now, we know about the land, the flood, the problems with FHA on down the line. And you are speaking to us especially, I think.
Well, it's a privilege to do it because I'm so proud of this picture and of the authenticity of it. And I'm hoping that your viewers are going to see what I saw in it. There's something quite beautiful, I think, in the struggle of this family, and heroic in their triumph.
Selections in casting always fascinate me.
Me too.
Watching Scott Glenn and Mel Gibson, every once in a while I thought, what if they had been switched? What was your decision based upon when you chose those two parts?
Well, there's something, you know, Mel really pursued this part. He, as you know, Mel is an American who moved to Australia when he was 11 years old. And
learned how to talk funny.
Learned how to talk funny, right? And I was worried about his ability to talk straight. And he had to prove it to me. He flew to my house in Los Angeles from London, where he was doing The Bounty, to read for me and to prove to me that he could do a real authentic American accent. He seemed right. There's something solid, something
and
out of the
obsessive
earth.
when it's necessary.
Yes, exactly. And unambivalently heterosexual about his role. Now, Scott also has a kind of wonderful sexuality, but he seems a bit more complex as a personality. And
True.
I'm proud of the dimensions that he added to this part. I mean, ostensibly he's a villain, but it's hard to believe him as a villain because there's something so remarkably justified about his behavior.
About 15 seconds, his final lines in the film, Scott Glenn's, really give us an ambivalence here, don't they?
Well, it's true. He's going to wait. He believes that he's right, and time will prove him so.
Yeah. Mark Rydell, may I shake the hand of the man who says, "Bring on the flood"?
Thank you very much.
He's the director, of course, of The River. And from New York City for KCTV5, this is John Tibbetts.